After decades of research, construction, and a Christmas Day launch, we are getting more full-color images from the James Webb Space Telescope. Mark Strassman has a look at the birth of the universe.
The James Webb Space Telescope, humanity's most advanced eye in the cosmos, has recently made a discovery that has left the scientific community stunned and the world in awe. Amid its mission to peer into the deepest corners of the universe, Webb's near-infrared instruments picked up what at first appeared to be an anomalous pattern of light nestled in the void between two ancient galaxies. At a glance, the finding resembled an ordinary alignment of cosmic dust and starlight. But as researchers meticulously sifted through the telescope's high-resolution imaging data, it became increasingly clear that this was no natural formation. Encoded within the pattern was a sequence, an unmistakably structured configuration that bore the hallmarks of deliberate design. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Scientists initially reacted with caution. After decades of false alarms and misunderstood signals from deep space, skepticism remained high. But the Webb telescope's resolution is unmatched, its sensors capable of parsing through veils of cosmic interference that had concealed much of the universe's history until now. The structure in question, tucked away approximately 13.4 billion light-years from Earth, exhibited mathematical symmetry far too precise to be attributed to chance. Its recurring motifs, almost algorithmic in consistency, followed a numerical rhythm suggestive of purposeful creation. The pattern was not static. It pulsed subtly as though transmitting something. At first, this was dismissed as residual cosmic radiation. However, frequency analysis revealed that these pulses followed prime number intervals, a known method for constructing mathematically intelligent signals. As experts cross-validated the findings across multiple observatories, the tension within the astronomical community surged. Was this the first legitimate sign of non-human intelligence encoded within the deep structure of the universe? The implications of such a possibility were staggering. The sequence did not form any known language, but its architecture was deliberate. It mirrored concepts found in abstract mathematics: Fibonacci spirals, golden ratios, fractal-like recursion, embedded within a lattice of light, almost like a three-dimensional hologram woven through space-time itself. While no one rushed to declare it a message in the traditional sense, it was impossible to ignore the feeling that this discovery was more than just a natural phenomenon. The structure had qualities that paralleled information compression systems. It seemed designed to survive for eons, as if preserved for the moment a civilization. Any civilization would become advanced enough to detect and understand it. And now, with Webb's unmatched observational power, that civilization was ours. The data began to pour in, filling terabytes of hard drives with rich spectrographic information and raw imaging that hinted at something far deeper. The encoded structure behaved like a container for knowledge, something crafted to endure the entropy of the cosmos, whispering across billions of light-years. Physicists and cosmologists struggled to wrap their minds around the implications. This wasn't just about contact. It touched the very fabric of human understanding. If the structure was artificial, it meant that intelligent life had not only existed somewhere out there, but had done so billions of years ago, possibly even before the Milky Way had formed. Such a timeline defied every assumption about the evolution of consciousness in the universe. Life, it now seemed, could have originated early, perhaps seeded by mechanisms we can scarcely imagine. Teams of codebreakers and AI-assisted linguists were deployed to analyze the embedded patterns. The configuration displayed a symmetry that looked eerily like a symbolic system, perhaps even a mathematical lexicon. However, the complexity was such that no single culture or field of science could claim to understand it entirely. The information appeared multidimensional. Certain frequencies revealed geometrical shapes, while others encoded what appeared to be motion-based constructs. Concepts difficult to convey without using a temporal dimension. It wasn't just data. It was as though the creators had encoded a form of thought, or even a method of cognition within the structure. Astronomers, philosophers, and technologists debated fiercely. Some posited that this was a beacon, not merely a record. Its position between two massive galaxies was almost too strategic, as if placed to remain observable regardless of the universe's expansion. Others suggested it might be a kind of time capsule, a snapshot of an ancient intelligence preserved in light, transmitting a silent but eloquent testament to its existence. And if so, what could such an intelligence be like? Not confined to carbon-based biology, not bound by time in the way humans are, and evidently capable of wielding the universe itself as a medium of communication. The energy signatures emanating from the structure revealed a controlled dispersion of radiation. This dispersion suggested that it had been engineered to maintain its coherence over billions of years, resisting entropy in a way no natural phenomenon could. Unlike pulsars or quasars, whose signals are chaotic and erratic, this formation had a stability that hinted at an ongoing mechanism behind it. It wasn't merely an echo from a long-dead civilization. It might be alive, or at least still functioning. As theories proliferated, one particularly provocative idea took hold among some physicists and information theorists. The structure could be a form of interstellar AI, an ancient autonomous intelligence dispatched across the universe to seed knowledge, monitor life, or preserve the memory of its creators. Such an entity would not resemble machines as we know them, but could be woven into the very physics of its environment, operating on principles entirely foreign to human engineering. This idea gained traction when a subtle modulation in the light frequency began to exhibit responsiveness to Webb's observational timing, as though adapting itself to our gaze. The sheer magnitude of the implications was beyond comprehension. If this was a message, then it was from a civilization that had mastered not just interstellar travel, but interstellar endurance. They had found a way to send meaning across time, not just space. The pulse's structure carried with it the essence of permanence, a desire, perhaps, to reach beyond extinction. Perhaps they had foreseen their demise, and this was their answer to it. Not monuments of stone or metal, but a signal embedded into the universe itself. Religious leaders, futurists, and existential theorists all weighed in, some seeing it as confirmation of long-held beliefs about higher powers, others as a harbinger of a paradigm shift that could redefine humanity's place in the cosmos. The question was no longer, are we alone, but are we the youngest? The existence of such a structure rewrote the very narrative of life and intelligence. No longer was Earth the cradle of thought. It was a late bloom in a garden whose seeds had been scattered long before our sun ever ignited. The engineering required to embed such a signal in the fabric of the cosmos pointed to a civilization with a mastery over physics that dwarfed even our most ambitious dreams, harnessing the power of stars, bending gravity to encode messages in the distortion of light, manipulating quantum states to carry data across the universe. This was not technology, but something closer to cosmic artistry. A civilization capable of this would likely operate on energy scales we categorize as Type 2, or even Type 3 on the Kardashev scale, civilizations that draw power from entire stars or galaxies. Time and space themselves appeared to be part of the medium. As astronomers recalibrated their instruments to focus on temporal fluctuations, it became clear that the structure changed in sync with certain cosmological events, almost as if it had awareness, or at least an algorithm tuned to universal rhythms. It wasn't broadcasting in the conventional sense. It was more like it had been designed to be stumbled upon by civilizations that reached a certain threshold of technological maturity. And now, humanity had passed that test. The message, or mechanism, had revealed itself, not through invitation but through observation. The ramifications on Earth were immediate. Entire fields of science found themselves in upheaval. SETI, which had long relied on radio waves, was suddenly redirected to study cosmological signals in light and gravity. Linguists worked alongside quantum physicists to decipher meaning not in words but in waveform harmonics. Cultural institutions began grappling with the implications for identity, spirituality, and purpose. If intelligence had seeded the universe with knowledge-bearing beacons, what was our role in that grand architecture? New collaborations emerged across the globe. Nations often divided by borders and ideologies found common ground in the pursuit of understanding the signal. It was no longer just an astronomical endeavor. It was a human one. The need to understand, to connect, to interpret what this ancient intelligence had preserved galvanized minds across disciplines. Whether it was a warning, a gift, a record, or something else entirely, it had become the most important discovery in the history of human existence. As new data continued to stream in from Webb and complementary observatories, scientists began modeling the structure in immersive three-dimensional simulations. The results were breathtaking. When reconstructed in full, the formation resembled a rotating torus of data loops, each loop a self-similar structure containing layers of encoded principles, gravity dynamics, atomic constants, chemical blueprints. These were not merely decorative but functional. It was as if the signal held an encyclopedia of universal knowledge, waiting to be unlocked with the right key. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, Leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on the James Webb Telescope revealing a hidden message? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.